everyone, how's it going? This is your weekly update for Saturday, June 20th, 2020. So this week I'd like to share a few updates, some items that finally came into stock, some beautiful wisteria. I'd like to apologize I missed last week's video. I will show you why later in this video. So let me show you around, show you everything that came in. Okay, so that first item that's finally in stock is milkweed, Asclepias tuberosa. You've been waiting, I've been waiting. I don't have any at home, so I'm gonna plant a few. If you're unfamiliar, this plant is a food and nectar source for monarch butterflies. So if you're keeping caterpillars or if you just wanna get them in your yard a little bit more, this is a great plant. It gets really pretty orange flowers for quite a few weeks in the summer. And then the caterpillars will actually munch on the foliage, so that's their food source. These are just $6.99 in 1 gallon pot. Okay, plant number 2 that's finally in stock is the perennial hibiscus. These take quite a while to pop out of the ground and in their pots, even in the greenhouse. But they're finally ready. They are selling very quick. This one is really pretty. It's a Candy Crush. It's pink. We have a lot of red. Some other varieties available. These are 1 gallon for $25. And even though these aren't necessarily new, I wanted to stop and check out the Tiarellas before I left the greenhouse. We have 3 different varieties. In your email newsletter this week, you might have noticed a coupon. So you can save up to $6 each when you buy 3 or more. These are terrific shade plants. They're in kind of like the coral bell family, and they get these pretty white flowers for months on end in spring into early summer. Okay, so let's leave this greenhouse and go into the annual house because we have a surprise. We have a new crop of annuals ready to go. Okay, so I made it back here. We have some really neat stuff in 4-inch pots. We have coleus. This one's Wicked Witch. Isn't that neat? Look at those edges. Crippled leaves. Very cool. We have Angelonia. We have a very pretty double impatient. Let me show it to you. This one is a Rockapocal called Wisteria. I think I'm going to have to find space in my garden for this one because it's just so cute. We have this in white as well. Then there's this Golden Dreams coleus, which also has great color. And we have quite a few of the angel wing, dragon wing kind of begonias. This one is called Bossa Nova Pure White. That one's really pretty too. We will have a new crop of hanging baskets available in maybe a week or two. So if you need anything, we'll have 10-inch, 12-inch. We'll have Angelonia, petunias, more geraniums, calibrachoa. So if you need a fresher upper, we'll have them for you. Okay, so my next update is down here in the arborvitae and western red cedar section. Do you see that empty section? Well, it was full just about a week or 2 ago. So we've ordered more based on your request. You guys want more? We will get you more. They should be here midweek next week. Okay, so now we'll take a shortcut through our perennial house in the back here where we have everything we just potted. We will go check on those hanging baskets. Look at all these hostas that we just planted in grasses. Oh, I think that one's wee. Let me show you the hosta wee. Okay, sorry for the bad camera angle there. My tripod hit the ground. But this is wee, isn't it cute? It's really dwarf, it's small, and it's got these crippled leaf edges with a little bit of a yellow tone. This one's really great. It's coming home with me when they're ready. Hopefully a couple months, couple weeks. Don't hold me to it. I'm not sure when they're going to be ready, but hopefully pretty soon. Okay, I'm not going to go in the greenhouse, but I found them. Aren't they looking great? That one you see in front is Supertunia Bordeaux. And in the back there, we have a couple more petunias and some begonias. Those should be ready here in a couple of weeks. As I was walking back, I found our hidden spot for all of our flowers that are going up by the road by our digital sign. Looks like the big begonias and some patience in there. I found some raspberries too. I think I'm going to have some snacks here in a couple of weeks. This variety is called Prelude. Okay, so I had to show you this wisteria and how tall these plants are. I'm about 5'4". Look how tall these are. These are Wisteria sinensis. They are a 5-gallon pot for $49.99. This week they're on sale for $20 off. If you're not familiar with wisteria, it's a very woody vine. You'll need a very strong structure, strong support for this thing. Blooms now, spring and through early summer. A little bit of a fragrance on this flower too. Beautiful bluish lavender color. Okay, so I made it back to the owl barn, which we will discuss here in a minute. But this week I want to talk about trimming or pruning. I've gotten a lot of calls, a lot of emails this week. Hey, when should I trim this? Should I have trimmed it? I already did. Did I do something wrong? So basically there's a rule of thumb. If it blooms in the spring, you cut it back after bloom. If it blooms in the summer, you usually can cut it back early in the spring. So for example, what should you be pruning now? Well, if needed, you could do things that just bloomed, like viburnum, azalea, rhododendron. Probably still get away with forsythia, although it's getting a little bit late. Lilacs you could do. But as far as what you should have already trimmed if needed to control size, so things like rose of Sharon, spirea, things that bloom in the summer. Okay, so you might be asking about evergreens. What about those? Well, now is a great time, and you could probably notice there's a lot of new growth on the edges that can be cut back. Don't ever cut back into old wood. If there's a plant that you want to control its size, you want to trim every year. If you have a plant that's older and you want to bring it way down, I wouldn't suggest it. Maybe it'd be best just to start over again. And also be sure anytime there's a dead branch, a crossing branch, branches that touch the ground, you can go ahead and cut those back at any time. One of those such plants is a weeping cherry. If you have one, you know, no matter how much you cut it, it's just going to keep going and going, so that can be trimmed up from the ground at any time. Okay, so my last big update for the week is what's behind me, the owl barn market. We are scheduled to open probably around June 26th. Usually it's about a week late than we normally do. We were waiting on shipments and getting the market nice and full for you. I heard Marietta sweet corn is possibly a little bit late. Might not have that till July 4th, but we will open with or without it next weekend. Behind me is a whole big truckload of concrete statuary. That is the reason why I could not make a video for you last week, is because it came on Friday. Me, Melanie, and Maggie were unloading, tagging, and placing all of these pieces out. We have some really great pieces. Let me show them to you. Okay, so I've made it inside the owl barn, where you can see behind me our accent wall. I've showed you that before, but we went ahead and finished it with those cute white paper flowers. Not only this year, we'll be bringing you all the fresh produce we possibly can, especially that produce from Cyberling Farms right down the street in Norton. But we've also concentrated this year on the planting aspect of our business. We have a lot of very cute pots. We'll bring in some house plants. We have air plants. We've added to our gift lines per your request. We have candy, a lot of pantry staples, just about anything you'd want. But since the market is still a little bit messy, as we're still expecting some more shipments, I will give you a tour next week in next week's video. But I just wanted to thank you again for watching this week's video. I wanted to end today by saying a very happy Father's Day, not only to my husband, but to my father as well. Okay, bye-bye.